I've been in law enforcement for 17 years. 8 of those years I was in criminal investigations. So I'm going to react to this true crime documentary from a law enforcement perspective of what they're doing, why they're doing it, things like that. The title of this documentary is When a Killer Vlogs His Murders. All right, let's get into it.
All right. So how do you feel, Kayleen? We haven't done the part that I'm not looking forward to.
My husband's great. He really is. He's very respectful to me. I mean, he spoils me. He takes care of me.
I'm getting pretty close to that time. This is what I got to do. I don't even question it anymore. At this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I may get caught right away. I mean, I could basically be dead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's all in the chance at this point.
Hey guys. Nice, look at all that smoke. Oh my gosh.
Though his family...
Well, it definitely sounds like he's already done something or he's planning on doing something. He's talking about getting caught, being dead in 2 to 3 weeks. Don't know yet why he's vlogging this stuff.
Know it. Something was off with Peter Keller. What follows is found footage that just might be some of the most disturbing recordings ever filmed. Documented like a YouTube video, the video diaries Peter created provide a rare glimpse into the mind of a killer and document how something that may have begun as an innocent hobby ultimately manifested as unbelievable cruelty.
Basically, last year has been really tough on me. I've been coming to terms, realizing just how pathetic I am. And there's just no hope. But it's tough. Wasn't interested in anything anymore. Couldn't motivate myself. All I did was work on this. This is the only thing that can make me feel better. But
It sounds like he's going through some type of depression or something like that. Is there a history of that? I don't know anything about this guy, Peter Keller. I don't know anything about this case whatsoever. So let me know in the comments.
I think I've come to terms with it. Starting to feel better now. Not quite sure why exactly. If it's just that I'm getting this further along, or maybe I've just come to terms with what I am, my situation, and kind of working through it. You know, I've tried. I always keep going back to the same person I am. I guess it's also because I don't have anything. I never did. No money. My looks are horrible.
My husband actually gave me some money, and I was going to go out and buy some of these, but I'm going to go buy ink instead. Oh my gosh. So awesome. Sorry, I'm trying not to get too excited because my husband's going to be like, what are you doing?
No personality.
As I said, 2 days before Peter acts on his plans. At this point, I have no idea what his plans are. I can think of a lot of scenarios, but let's wait and see.
I mean, I'm okay with it. It's just I understand now very clearly this is the only thing I have.
It's just a single pick, but you know, we all add single pick. Sorry, my dog's being crazy. My husband's probably chasing him around the living room. I know my husband spoils me. He hates seeing me in pain, so Tonight he came home and he gave me another $20 because he knows I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow and he wants me to stop at Michael's and get some more stuff.
Well, it's about 2 weeks before the end. This is going to be my last video, probably before till after.
So it sounds like he definitely has a plan. He said, "This is it. I probably won't vlog or video, whatever he said before that." So he definitely has a plan, and sounds like he's been planning it for quite some time.
Some items for my mom and some other items, but I just want to show you this. Dino, sorry, my husband's home. Dino.
Well, it's about 2 weeks before I finally drop out of society and start this project.
Sorry. The cute little puppy, right? So these are the items that are in there now. They're hard plastic. Stop.
Well, it's about 2 weeks before we finally drop out of society, fully commit to this. This is probably going to be my last video till after that.
Here we can see that Peter actually does retakes instead of being fully candid, like other videos suggest. This, along with the comments he's made about his appearance, seem to indicate that Peter cares deeply about how people view him. The retake suggests he's purposely curating how he appears to anyone who views these tapes. He wants to make the best possible impression. Again, this could tie back to major depressive disorder and childhood trauma. Teenagers often act as though they have what's known as an invisible audience, the idea that people are watching them all the time and judging their looks and actions. From what we see in the videos, Peter seems to still be acting like this at age 41. This type of behavior can also be found in individuals with narcissistic tendencies. The question of Peter's intentions would be one of the first mysteries police faced when they became involved in the situation on April 22, 2012. It was a quiet day in the mobile home park where the Keller family lived when, seemingly out of nowhere, several neighbors heard what they believed to be an explosion. When they saw flames coming out of the windows of the Keller home, the neighbors summoned the fire department. Firefighters swarmed the home, climbing on top of it, even as the blaze ate through the roof. They had no idea just how seriously they were risking their lives until later. Once the fire was doused and...
Okay, so it sounds like he built that fort or whatever you want to call it. Sounds like he wants to escape from society. I'm assuming he set his house on fire. I'm hoping the daughter and the wife are not there. Don't know. He seems to have, really love his wife, so...
Investigators entered the residence. They discovered Peter Keller was nowhere to be found. Iwu spoke with Cindy West, a retired police sergeant who worked on the Keller case, in an exclusive interview.
I was actually the public information officer, and I think it was a weekend, because I was actually heading out of town, and I got the phone call. So I turned around, came back into town, and arrived up there in North Bend, and then the investigation started there. And as the investigation went on, it just snowballed from what the heck happened to, wow, this is bigger than I think anybody thought at the start.
For those of you who aren't familiar, a public information officer handles all inquiries about an active case, providing private...
Yeah, a public information officer is basically the person, the face and the spokesperson for your department. They gather facts and they determine what should be released to the public or what should not. Most departments do this instead of media finding an officer that's been on the force for 6 months and has no clue what to say or what not to say. This is normally how they go about it.
Citizens as well as the media with information that's been approved for release. As such, Cindy was intimately familiar with the inner workings of the Keller case. The day of the fire, tracking down Peter became the police's highest priority. In just a few hours, they located his vehicle parked downtown. The keys were left inside, but there was no evidence as to where he might have gone. When they entered his workplace to ask where Peter might be, all his co-workers could offer was that Peter had already left for the day and had stated that he might be back tomorrow, next week, or possibly never.
Oh.
Police also discovered that Peter had recently withdrawn $6,200 from the family bank account. Everything suggested that Peter was either in danger, running, or both. For now, police had no idea where he could be hiding. But they weren't clueless for long. Police got lucky when searching Peter's home and unearthed a hard drive containing Peter's video diaries. Combined with what else was discovered in the residence, the investigation went from serious to downright bone-chilling.
Okay, if you're going to disappear and you've done videos and vlogs the way he's done this and telling what he's doing and how he's doing it, you've got to get rid of all evidence. That includes completely getting rid of all your social media, all computers, everything electronic, everything.
Well, before, a while ago, I used to sit here and think, this whole thing is just crazy at times, and then I'd think about it, and it would make sense, and it's like, okay, this is what I got to do.
Peter's decisiveness in this clip, paired with the horrific details of what police had found in the remains of his home, would likely be shocking to even the most seasoned law enforcement official. They were at a complete loss when it came to explaining how and why this had happened. Only time would reveal the haunting truth. When it came to the video entries, they supplied more than just a record of Peter's thoughts. As it turned out, other entries in the video diary and the accompanying photographs would become the key to tracking Peter. Retired Sergeant Cindy West was able to share the creative technique the police ended up using.
They had photographs that Keller had taken on the mountainside as he's constructing this bunker, from nothing's there to a little bit more to a little bit more. In one of the photos, you can see, I couldn't see it, it looked like a power line in the distance. So you're looking off the mountain toward, which would be North Bend, the city. You can barely see this power line and something else. Again, I didn't think it was a power line. But our detective, Mike Mellis, says, I think that's a power line. I think that down there is probably the city. And then according to these other photos, there's a couple streams nearby. So he does a lot of investigation and says, well, it's got to be in one of these 2 points then. And I'm like, I don't know how he came up with that, but he was exactly right.
Combined with reports of Peter's truck being regularly parked at a specific trailhead, this was enough information for police to start canvassing the area to search for Camp Keller. It took 6 days, but eventually they succeeded.
Okay, since he did not destroy the computer, they have the pictures of what it is. They sort of know what he built. They know that that's where he would have gone after this because no one can find him. As an investigator, I'm tickled to death that he didn't get rid of this stuff. It helps me so much. Now, I know where to start, what I'm looking for. Without that, it could be months and months and months before you even get any kind of a clue, any kind of a hint of where to even start to find this guy.
The smoke visible in this footage came from Peter's makeshift chimney and was instrumental in leading the police to Camp Keller. However, rushing in and making an arrest wasn't going to be an option. They had no idea how many people might be inside, or remember, Peter had been stockpiling weapons and ammunition at home, and thanks to his videos, which were discovered when police reviewed the recordings that were not destroyed in the house fire, they knew he likely had firearms at his camp. Little did they know what else they would uncover. They also knew that there was a chance they could be dealing with a hostage situation. A direct approach could endanger Peter's life if he was being held captive, or spook him if he had hostages of his own. They needed to make whoever was inside come to them.
You guys on the number 3 side, can you get to that window and break it out or throw a gas in there?
Brian, there looks like a slot or a window that's propped open in the back, directly towards the dirt wall, but I couldn't see it. He's got something over it. Maybe you guys can throw a log through it or something.
But if we throw a number 2 in that ditch, it should cycle right up. The tarp should push it right into the structure.
That's exactly what they decide to do. The response team keeps the bunker surrounded in the hopes that the gas canister will drive those inside out of the bunker and straight to the waiting forces. But after about 10 minutes, nothing has changed.
Yes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You can't go in there. They don't know who's in there, what's in there, how many weapons he has, what his intent is. They have no idea. So you want the bad people to come out to you. That's by far the smartest thing. And when they're saying they threw the gas in there, they're talking about tear gas. They're not talking about gasoline. And after 10 minutes, no one came out. That either tells me no one's in there, or this guy was pretty prepared. He probably has a gas mask, thinking this is something like what they would want to do if they came after him.
Dissipating, finally. The first one you sent in is dissipating. You want me to throw a 98 under the window, the open window where we first gassed? Yeah, if you can do it from your position.
With the gas canisters having no effect, the team is forced to reconsider their tactics.
Just for planning purposes, if this gas isn't going to work, we may have the command post try and locate like a wildland fire pump and hose that can pump a large volume of water into this place, Greg. Okay. I think we could probably utilize this creek. We just need enough hose and a pumping station to get it, up to where we want it.
We've got new photos showing this bunker may have multiple levels.
Big copy.
This information actually came from Peter directly and the self-recorded videos that they found in his burned-out house.
Well, this is the end of the day. I'm getting wrapped up, getting ready to leave. I don't know if you can see me, but it's kind of one last look at everything. That's my fireplace, wood stove, whatever. Pretty dark. Now we're going upstairs.
Yeah, this guy was definitely planning on being gone and living here for quite some time. He's really planned this out. He's thought about this, and I don't know why that he burnt the house and went up there. Just leave and just go up there.
This is where most of my supplies are. Pretty well stocked up. My window. Looking down on the wood stove. And that pretty much wraps it up for the day.
Finally, police resorted to throwing a grenade towards the bunker. When even an actual explosion failed to get results, police knew that they would have to be the ones to approach. After a full day of besieging the bunker, they decided to break through the roof. You might be wondering why a house fire investigation demanded such an extensive response. As a matter of fact, it didn't. After assessing the situation, investigators concluded that they were dealing with arson. But that would all change when they made their way into the home and stumbled upon a disturbing discovery. It wasn't a subtle attempt either. The remains of a red gas can were found melted onto the stove, where it had been placed in a skillet to heat up until it ignited. Police found several other gas cans throughout the residence, boxes of ammunition, and a homemade explosive device. Investigators could only assume it was meant to be triggered by the fire.
Yeah, okay. The fire department evidently got there pretty quick and put the fire out quicker than what he thought they would do, because the other gas cans and things, it would have been more explosions, and would have destroyed the electronics and the computer and all that. So he just didn't plan quite right of what he thought was going to happen.
In order to destroy the house and everything inside. Had the fire team arrived just a few moments later, it could have gone off while they were on the roof, potentially costing them their lives. Police believed that this evidence was meant to be destroyed in the fire, along with the video diaries, but those items were hardly the most shocking thing they discovered. There were 2 bodies in the bedroom of the Keller home, untouched by the fire. Tragically, the bodies were identified to be those of Lynette and Kayleen Keller. They had...
Okay, well, why did he kill his wife and his daughter? Don't know a whole lot about the relationship with his daughter, but he seemed to get along very well with his wife, or at least what she was talking. She loved him. She was appreciative that he gave her $20, and my husband's great and all this. And it said they both had been shot in the head.
Had both been shot in the head.
Nice. Nice. Look at all that smoke. Oh my gosh.
Okay, make sure you don't touch this,
Okay.
because this gets really freaking hot.
It seems that what Peter's video diaries have been hinting at the entire time was killing his own family.
Part of me has a hard time even imagining doing what I'm going to do. But as I think about it, I always come up to the same conclusion every time. I'm starting to get more okay with it.
Retired Sergeant Cindy West was once again willing to share.
So he's been thinking about doing this plan for quite some time. I hope we find out at the end of this why.
Her thoughts.
I knew it was coming. Again, based on the conversations that we had with friends of both of them, it sounded like he was a loving, great husband. So I think they're both blindsided by it. And, I don't know. This case just racks my brain. There's no way it's ever going to resolve in my brain, because you just think, why? Not only did he kill his wife and his daughter, but based on the friends and neighbors, he had this dog that went everywhere with him, hiking, or apparently to go build a bunker, for all these years. And he killed the dog too. He was afraid that the dog would give him away in the bunker. And so he killed the dog too. Again, there's no explanation. I mean, I get that he obviously had some sort of mental illness. Dipstick wasn't hitting the oil with him, but it just makes you shake your head. I've seen a lot of stuff in my career, a lot of bad things. You just shake your head about, sometimes when things happen. But this case really, really got to me.
Cindy shared with us what happened when police finally made entry into Camp Keller. And what they find inside the bunker is even more shocking than anyone expected.
When our TAC 30, aka SWAT guys, discover the bunker, of course, they surround it and make sure everybody's safe, let everybody know what's going on before they hail to him saying, hey, come on out with your hands up, yada, yada, all that. And it was just a short time after they initially tried to make contact with him that they heard a pop. So they didn't know, did he have an accidental discharge? Was it something else? They didn't know.
When the walls of Camp Keller were finally breached, police discovered that Peter had stayed true to his word and ended his life when faced with capture, soon after the police surrounded his stronghold. Perhaps this was Peter's only intention all along. He wanted to achieve this teenage fantasy of living out underground in the woods before he died. But he had no end game other than his own death.
Well, the fact that he was found was significant. We were worried what he might do to somebody else. If he's, brazen enough to kill his wife and his daughter, then what's he going to do to somebody else? But I think there was a sense of relief that it was over, that he had been not apprehended, but that he was finished with his crime spree, that nobody else got hurt. There was so much potential for injuries to citizens and all the officers involved that it was definitely a sense of relief.
The camp was turned over to King County Department of Natural Resources, who eventually destroyed the bunker. Peter's cash hoard was donated to a memorial scholarship established in memory of Lynette.
So he shot himself. He killed himself. So we'll never really know why he killed his family. If you like these type of true crime documentaries where I react to them, please subscribe to my channel. Like my videos. I'm going to do at least 3, maybe 4 per week. And tell your family and friends.